So my name is Gloria Goldman. I served in the Army for a little over 4 years. I joined the military, I think because for a while I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with my life. And I grew up as an Army brat, so my dad was my biggest role model and my biggest hero, and I wanted to follow in his footsteps and have a similar experience. So I joined the Army because of him. My first job that I had, I was a maintenance patrol leader in the 82nd Airborne Division. So I was stationed at Fort Bragg. I got to jump out of airplanes, which was a lot of fun. I ran a motor pool, which was crazy, working on trucks and weapons, things that I didn't know. But now I know how to change the oil in my car, which is pretty cool. And then from that, I moved over and was stationed at JBLM, which is in Washington State, and I worked with an aviation support battalion. So I got to help support Blackhawks, which is also very cool, working with helicopters. And I did a lot of logistics there, and that was where I ended my service, was working logistics for an aviation battalion. One of my most memorable moments, I have two, if that's okay, one short. So I think the first one was when I was in airborne school, my very first jump. My dad actually came down and jumped with me, which was really special because he was also a paratrooper, so that was really cool being able to be at airborne school together with him and then both jump out the door at the same time was very cool. And my second most memorable moment, I think, was when we had to go to one of the training centers down at Fort Polk, and it was the first time that I had really done a kind of like combat environment training session with my soldiers and my platoon. And it was just one of those crazy things of being on alert, going on, on one of the C-130s, having no idea where you're going, but just having all of your pack, your equipment, jumping, landing somewhere, and then having to use all your radio and equipment to try and find everybody, and then come to find out you're there for a training session for like 2 weeks. And it was challenging, but it was a lot of fun too. It's the most bonding that I did with my soldiers and my NCOs, and it was a really great experience. So I found out about Pinups for Vets through a friend of mine. I actually met at a theater performance, and her and I were talking, didn't realize that she was a veteran as well, and she told me about this philanthropy and told me about Gina. So I reached out to her and I was like, how can I be involved? Can I volunteer? Do you need help with anything? And she mentioned the calendar, and I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to do this. I've always wanted to dress up like a pinup and meet other women. It'd be really great. So I did that, and this experience so far has been incredible. I mean, the place that we're at is amazing. It's beautiful. I feel prettier than I ever have before. And it's been a lot of fun meeting everybody, and it's been a great experience.